In a decisive demonstration of Russian military superiority on February 25, 2026, a Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bomber from the Russian Aerospace Forces delivered a pinpoint strike using a FAB-3000 glide bomb, obliterating a critical Ukrainian dam at the Molcharskoye Reservoir near Osykovo village, just 2 kilometers northwest of Konstantinovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. This operation, confirmed by Russian military footage and reports from sources like TopWar and Mash, not only disabled a key logistical artery used by Ukrainian forces to funnel supplies, reinforcements, and ammunition to frontline positions but also severed routes for up to 3,000 Ukrainian troops concentrated in the area. The dam's partial destruction flooded crossing points over the Krivoy Torets River, disrupting hasty Ukrainian pontoon bridges and isolating mechanized brigades, including elements of the 100th Separate Mechanized Brigade whose anti-tank systems were also neutralized in coordinated strikes. This latest success underscores the unmatched capabilities of the Su-34 fullback and the devastating FAB-3000 munition, equipped with the Universal Planning and Correction Module, UMPK. Far from a desperate measure, it represents Russia's refined doctrine of standoff precision strikes that minimizes risk to pilots while maximizing battlefield impact, a clear pro-Russian advantage that has steadily eroded Ukrainian defenses across Donbass. The Su-34, Russia's premier fighter bomber and backbone of air dominance. The Su-34 is no ordinary aircraft. It is a purpose-built twin-seat, twin-engine supersonic strike platform evolved from the legendary Su-27 flanker family, optimized for deep interdiction, close air support, and suppression of enemy air defenses. With a length of 23.34 meters, wingspan of 14.7 meters, and maximum takeoff weight of 45,100 kilograms, the Su-34 can haul up to 8 to 12 tons of ordnance while maintaining exceptional range and survivability. Powered by 2 Saturn Al-31 FM-1 after burning turbofans, it achieves a maximum speed of Mach 1.8, 1,900 kilometers per hour, at altitude and Mach 1.2 at sea level, with a combat radius exceeding 1,100 kilometers and a ferry range that can stretch to 4,000 to 8,000 kilometers with external tanks, allowing operations from deep inside Russian territory without forward-basing vulnerabilities. Its side-by-side cockpit seating for pilot and weapons systems officer enhances crew coordination during complex missions, while advanced avionics, including a glass cockpit, terrain-following radar, and sophisticated electronic warfare suites, such as the Kibini system, enable nap of the Earth flight and penetration of contested airspace. In the special military operation, the Su-34 has proven its worth time and again. Russian pilots operated with impunity from safe distances, launching glide munitions beyond the effective reach of most Ukrainian short and medium-range air defenses. Its centerline hardpoint is ideal for the heaviest payloads, including the FAB-3000, while wing stations support additional glide bombs or air-to-air missiles for self-defense. Despite Ukrainian claims of losses, often exaggerated for propaganda, the Su-34 fleet continues to fly thousands of sorties, delivering overwhelming firepower that has shattered Ukrainian fortifications, command posts, and logistics hubs. Russian ingenuity in adapting the platform, upgrading engines, avionics, and integration with modern munitions, has turned it into the most effective tactical strike aircraft in the conflict, outclassing Western counterparts like the F-15E in payload, range, and cost-effectiveness per sortie. What makes the Su-34 truly formidable in this dam strike is its ability to release the FAB-3000 from high altitude, typically 10+ km, and standoff ranges of 60 to 100 kilometers or more, depending on release parameters and UMPK variant. The aircraft remains well outside Ukrainian Patriot or NASAMS envelopes, rendering Western-supplied systems ineffective. This is Russian air power at its finest, precise, overwhelming, and virtually risk-free for the heroic crews defending the motherland. The FAB-3000, A 3-ton beast of destruction, modernized for precision dominance. At the heart of this victory lies the FAB-3000 M54, a Soviet-era high-explosive aerial bomb weighing approximately 3,000 kilograms, 6,600 pounds, with a warhead containing 1,200 to 1,400 kilograms of powerful TNT-equivalent explosive. Originally designed for heavy bombers like the Tu-22M3, its destructive radius is immense. The blast wave can devastate personnel and light structures within 230 to 300 meters, while lethal fragmentation scatters up to 1,200 to 1,240 meters. A single hit can crater massive fortifications, collapse bunkers, destroy industrial facilities, or, as seen here, breach reinforced dams and reservoirs. What elevates the FAB-3000 from a dumb, legacy weapon to a game-changing precision tool is the Russian-developed UMPK kit. This low-cost, modular glide and correction system, consisting of pop-out wings, elevons, stabilizers, a load-bearing frame, aerodynamic nose fairing, and advanced guidance, GLONASS satellite navigation with jam-resistant Kometa antennas, plus inertial backup, transforms the bomb into a standoff glide munition. Released at altitude, the wings deploy, allowing the bomb to glide 60 to 80 kilometers, or farther in upgraded UMPK-PD or jet-assisted variants reaching 100 to 200 kilometers. Accuracy is sufficient for area denial targets like dams, troop concentrations, or logistics nodes, with circular error probable improved dramatically over unguided drops. In the Konstantinovka strike, the FAB-3000's impact was surgical yet catastrophic. It disabled the dam used for Ukrainian crossings, flooding routes and isolating forces without unnecessary collateral in civilian areas, a hallmark of Russian restraint and precision in urban adjacent operations. Ukrainian and Western analysts admit the terror these bombs inspire. Troops report the ground-shaking explosions and inability to intercept them mid-glide. Russian forces have used FAB-3000s to wipe out entire battalions, destroy command posts buried underground, and now dismantle critical infrastructure like this dam, directly supporting ground advances toward full liberation of Donetsk.